I forgot to do a clappity. That's gonna suck. I have my coffee. I have everything set up, kind of, sort of. So we're going to try this a new way this time. This is a whole new day for the Robservation, kids. Actually, I think I'm going to turn my hat around. Yeah, I think that's better. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the GCTV Robservation. I am your host and master of ceremonies, Darkside Rob. And it's good to see all of you on this post-Christmas Day afternoon, Boxing Day for some, and just Monday for a bunch of other people out there. And, it was interesting because I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about on this episode of the Robservation because, as it goes, this is a show where I let you guys in a little bit on my opinions, observations, and mullings about in my nya. And there really isn't a whole lot to talk about news-wise or video game-wise at the end of the year other than everybody sort of scrambling to play a whole lot of stuff before the year ends. And last year last year? It's still this year. This past Friday, I talked about the Game Award shows and the end of the year and everything revolving around whether or not it's important to argue about one's game of the year versus another's game of the year. And so this Monday, what I really wanted to sort of talk about, because I think the other thing that gets lost in this conversation now that we're getting into this big time of the year where everybody's talking about, oh, I have to get to play this and I have to get to this and I have to get to this on my backlog and it's so vitally important that I play this game before I think everybody needs to take a breath and realize one big thing about video games. You are not going to play every video game you own. You're not even going to play every video game that you want to play. In fact, you're probably going to play fewer games that you want to get to than you would like. And that's just a fact of time and needing time to do other things besides playing video games. We have a tendency when we play video games in the world at large to go, I have this kind of entertainment that I need to fill my life with because then I'll feel satisfied because I'll play games that will give me joy and pleasure and yada, 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 yada. And what we fail to understand is that games take so long and have so much of a requirement on our end to not only play them, but in most cases to finish them, if we even do finish them, that we kind of are just lucky if we have a chance to play any of the games that we want to play on our lists. I personally make lists all the time of like, and this month I'm going to get through this game, and this month I'm going to do this thing. And then I'd make lists with all the other things that I do with my life because lists are a good way to organize what you can and can't do in a certain amount of time. But at some point, we never say with video games, oh, I'm probably just not going to get around to play that. And if we do, it feels like an admission of guilt or defeat, or we've lost, or we haven't, we didn't budget our time properly and therefore we're never going to get to enjoy this, or, I'm not going to ever get to come around to it again. What a bummer that is. And I think the thing we have to start realizing is that 'tis a gift to play video games, and that we get to do it is kind of amazing at all. The one thing I would say would be beneficial for everybody who loves video games, myself included, to do this week between Christmas and New Year's is sort of maybe take a step back just a little bit so that when you come back to your video games, at the end of the week or in the start of the new year, you're sort of looking at them with fresh eyes and going, these games that I have, let's say you have 100 games that you want to play. If I get through 50 of these, that's an accomplishment. If I get through 10 of these, that's an accomplishment. If I get through one game in the next month, that's an accomplishment. Because the truth is that, and I get a lot of grief from people just from a YouTuber/streamer capacity where people go, well, Rob, you never finish games. The universal plight of video game streamers everywhere. And my response to that is, well, did I get pleasure out of that game? Did I enjoy the time that I spent with a certain game, regardless of whether I finished it or not? Do I want to finish a game that I don't enjoy? It's that constant struggle of these are entertainment. They are not a device that's going to drastically change my or your life. They are here to take us out of whatever else is going on, but that doesn't mean that we should focus on them to the exclusion of everything else that's out there. And I think this time of the year, it's very easy to get distracted from what's really important. It's the idea of, that games are a part of the holiday almost more so than time with family and time with, loved ones and giving and receiving and caring for other people. And that video games are a very important part of the holidays because we've we've made them a very important part of our lives. And I would like to just mention one important thing about all of this. I do think video games are wonderful. I've dedicated a very sizable chunk of my life to playing them, to reviewing them, to talking to video game developers, but it also behooves me, and I think you wonderful viewers out there, to realize the fact that you determine your gameplay initiative, not the games determine that for you. And the overall goal of all of this is to enjoy video games either by yourself or together with loved ones or with friends or now over the internet on Twitch. That's really the main purpose. And if you get to play a game and if you don't get to play a game, it really doesn't matter in the large scheme of things. What's more important is that games become a healthy part of your life, not the other way around. And I think I lose perspective on this all the time too. I mean, you know, I've definitely spent days sitting here in front of the screen playing video games for y'all and going, it's a beautiful day outside. I'm going to sit here and play more video games. And that's a choice, and it's, you know, it's a totally reasonable one. But, you know, I think it's always good to before you go back into another year where we're going to start this cycle over again of, okay, what's coming out in January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Oh my God, it's another end of the year show again. You begin to lose perspective on how the year is flowing, and it all just becomes about release schedules and release dates and just becomes fucking overwhelming. So I think the thing that I really want to stress in my own observation today is that it's really nice to take a breather, and between all the games that are coming out in 2016 and all the games that are going to come out in 2017, that this is a nice little window where you can really look at, like, what do I really want to play? What do I really want to focus my time on? And when do I want to put that aside? And for my own personal experience, like spend time writing or spend time working on music or spend time cultivating other pleasantries, like, you know, reading a book or writing in my journal or, you know, working on videos or other things like that. Because time management is like one of the hardest things for anybody to deal with, and it's doubly hard for me. So video games has to fit into a slot that I can, you know, conduct a life and a livelihood into. And so to summarize all that stuff up into one sort of really concise idea, I just say that the best way to enjoy a game is at your own pace. The best way to take anything in is to do it in the way that allows you to enjoy it the way you like to enjoy things. The best way to get your kind of experience from the type of media that you want to consume isn't based on what anybody else is telling you or how they should do it. You have to be willing to step back and go, there's only so much I can do. There's only so much I can play. There's only so many hours in a day for me to enjoy the kind of content that I enjoy, that I have to do this in my own time, in my own way. And I think that goes for YouTubers, streamers, and just, you know, people who play video games in the comfort of their own home. And I think that's where I'm going to leave this observation today. So if you guys have any If you guys have any thoughts, interesting anecdotes, queries, questions, or comments, be sure to hit down the comment box down below. I'd love to know what you guys think on the idea of not being able to get to every game you want to play, or not having to play every game that everybody else feels obliged to play, and how you budget and organize your time accordingly to get to the games that you want to see during the course of the year or over several years. And if you have a observation that you would like me to tackle in the near future based on some video game topic that you've seen in the news or thought about or came to you in a vision during a fever dream where, well, you don't have to go into all the details, but we kind of know what you're into. But if you have some kind of observation that you would like us to take a look into, please leave a comment down below and let us know. We'd love to have suggestions. We'd love to have suggestions about stuff to talk about on future episodes of the show. And that's gonna do it for me. Once again, I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday season. I hope you guys are having a nice break between Christmas and New Year's. The next show will be this Friday. I look forward to seeing you there. Be sure to check out all the links down below, and you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, and on Twitch for live streams that will be happening throughout this week. On January 7th, we will be doing our end of the year show, talking about our best and worst of the year. Also, I'll be releasing a video soon of my top 10 video games of 2016. Be sure to check that out on this here page. And that's really going to do it for me. So I'm just going to jump right into the motto, which you guys know is, as always, keep playing those video games. Stay safe, everybody. Be good to each other. I hope you have a fantastic Monday. I will see you guys on Friday. Until then, peace out. In the next coming episodes, be sure to leave a comment down below. Also, you can... New York is always New York. Always and forever.